Hi, I'm Regina Mahalik. I am an adjunct instructor in the culinary department at Ivy Tech Community College. Today we're going to use the produce from the box from Gleaner's Food Bank. In that box, if you want to bring that over, we had onions, carrots, swing over here, carrots, potatoes, sweet potatoes. This box was full of produce. I'm not going to use all of it, but we used some of it, as you can see. But this was full to the brim, so you've got to figure out a way to use all this. So in this pot, I have been heating. I'm going to put some margarine. I peeled some carrot. I pulled out the carrots, peeled them, peeled the potatoes, peeled the sweet potatoes. That probably took about 20 minutes to go through everything. So that's going to take some time. Here's an onion. So the onion, I took the end that grows and the butt end, and I just kind of want to show you that you want to clean this a little bit, get some of this outside brown off, cut the root end off, and then just slice it. This is a lot of onions to do. I probably have 8 or 10 onions here, but they're small. So that's all the onions. I'm going to put them in this bowl. And then come on over to this pot. Oh, it looks like our margarine is hot. And I'm going to put those onions in. We're going to let them sizzle away. I'm going to toss them around. One of the vegetables that I purchased at Kroger was some kale. So I just want to show you how to prep this. You don't want to eat this rough stem that's down the center of it. Here, I'll show you on this one. See this hard stem? You don't want to eat that. So what you do is you pull the leaves away and just tear it up and put it in some water, because usually these greens are dirty. Instead of kale, you could use spinach or collards or mustard greens, whatever the grocery store close to you has, or the farmer's market. All right, and I'm going to let that in there in that cold water to soak so that it releases all the dirt. We'll clean that up later. So next I'm going to show you the potatoes this all kind of helter-skelter potatoes, but I figured you might as well see them. I peeled them as best I could. And so I'm just going to cut them into small bite-sized chunks. You don't want them too big, because then they won't fit in the bowl of the spoon. Now this same process we're going to do with the carrots and the sweet potatoes. Then here's all the sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are hard to cut. You need a little elbow grease, strength. Again, bite size. So then we have these carrots that maybe I think I'm just going to slice these. I took some time to peel. Actually, I'm going to keep the carrots separate. And so while those onions are cooking, we're going to add the carrots. We're going to leave the potatoes a little bit. We'll put those in a little bit of time, but let's put the carrots in now. Those can mix around. We did get some spaghetti. And so I don't have any noodles, but I'd like to have a few noodles. So I'm taking about half this bag and bringing it over here to my bowl that I should wipe out dry. And I'm gonna cut this, break it in half. And then I'm gonna break it again into little pieces, if I'm strong enough. Oh yeah. I have some water boiling. Oh, a couple quarts of water, and I'm adding some salt. And then I'm going to put that in and mix it. And this pasta shouldn't take that long to cook. And then when it's done, we'll just set it aside and use it later. So this pasta's probably been about, it was more than 5 minutes, it was 7 minutes. The only way you're going to know when pasta's done is to taste it. When you don't want it too soft, you just want it, as they say, al dente, or to the bite, so that it still has a little give. So what we're going to do is take this pot over here to the sink and we're draining it. And then you immediately want to run it under cold water. So that stops the cooking process. We're going to start adding some additional ingredients to the pot over there with onions and carrots in. This is the potatoes and sweet potatoes that I put some more water on while they were sitting. Draining that off. And then I'm going to come over here and take the lid off, and everything's sweating nicely in there. The onions and the carrots. There is a little, and that's not bad, caramelization. We're doing good. So the onions, you can see, are getting softer. Now I'm going to put all these potatoes in. And then once these have softened, it's going to probably take about 10 minutes. Once this softened, then we're going to add some chicken stock and water to this. Let me mix this up. What'll happen now while we're sweating is the potatoes will release some starch, because the starch will come out. It may stick to the bottom of the pan. I'm going to add a little bit more salt. Seasoning as you go is important. We're going to put this lid on and we'll be back in 10 minutes. See you then. It's been a little over 10 minutes. You can see all the vegetables are getting nice and soft and sweated. There's a little sticking right there, but that's okay. So to this, we're going to add some chicken stock. In the cans of items, we got, here's some chicken broth by Swanson. So we're going to put that in. And we're also, we need to have enough water to cover these vegetables while they're cooking. So I just happened to put some water in this pot so that I wouldn't have to carry it over. Now let's see. So this is kind of a judgment thing, but you just want them covered just enough. I think at this point we should put a little seasoning in. So that's what this is, Grill Master hamburger. It'll give us some flavor. Let's see how, or maybe like 2 teaspoons or something like that in there. That'll give it some pizzazz. And then this is going to come to a boil. And as you can see, some of the vegetables are getting softer. I don't want to add the tomato or any of the other things yet. Let's let this come again to another boil for about 10 minutes. So this pot of soup has come to a boil, and I'm kind of looking, it looks nice and hearty, and I have my knife to check to see. It looks like the carrots are done, so that means everything should be done. So to that, I'm going to add 1 can of tomatoes. This was a can of tomatoes I bought at Kroger. It was like 59 cents. That'll give us another little depth of flavor, or another layer of flavor. And then in the box, there was some French style green beans. Okay, that's pretty dried out. So now it's just green beans. So those are going to go in. So I'm just going to put that in to the pot. Oh yeah, that has some nice flavor. We're going to put a little more of this hamburger seasoning in, but you really get the wonderful flavor of all the vegetables. If you have any spices at home, if you want to put cayenne in, or more salt, or just some black pepper, that's what we didn't put any black pepper in. So here is that pasta. I'm going to put some in the bottom of this plate. A big old ladle full of this. All these vegetables. And there we go. That is vegetable soup with some pasta and kale.